Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. Now, I've shown you many different ways to make quilting stitch patterns, from either a straight stitch, stitching on a diagonal, or a little wavy stitch. But now I'm going to show you how to do something very creative, and it's really a lot of fun. I've done this on some of my table runners in the past. And if you look at this row here, look really close, it's heart shapes connected by a straight line, more hearts, connecting lines, and so forth. And I just keep adding these rows on, doing this pattern until I have it all covered. So let me show you just how easy it is to do this. So to do this technique, I purchased this paper. It's about 6 inches wide, I guess. And I bought it at Home Depot in the paint department. And it comes in rolls, and you can get a variety of widths there. And so I bought a roll of this, and I measured out from one end of the table runner to the other, and then cut it to the size that it is. And let me roll this back up. So I cut it up, and then I took that piece of paper that I cut up for this and folded it together and then folded it again so that you have all these layers here. You got 4 layers that it's folded. Now, if it's longer, you might have to fold it one more time. Then I drew my pattern on it, drew the line here. Then take this paper, go to your sewing machine, remove the thread out of the needle. Just completely remove it out of the upper portion of your machine. Put this under your presser foot and stitch right on top of the lines. And what's happening is your needle will perforate the paper. And there's a reason why you want it perforated. So you do that all the way through, and when you're done, you'll feel bumpy in the back because it's perforated all the way through. Then you unfold that piece of paper, and that pattern is repeated all the way down. You pin it onto your table runner, quilt, whatever you're doing it on, and you start at one end. So you start at one end and you stitch right on top of the line. So let me show you another design that's a little easier to look at because it's on plain fabric. On this example, I drew squares. So here's how you would go about stitching onto your fabric. Remember, your paper is sitting on top of your table runner or quilt. It's pinned down. So start up here at one end, stitch, and then go down one side, and then this side, go down the center piece. Now, one of the things you have to remember is whenever you come to a point where you need to turn your fabric, on the front of your sewing machine is a little button you can push that will tell the machine that every time you take your foot off of the foot pedal, the needle will stay down through the fabric and the presser foot will automatically lift up. That's so you can turn your fabric easily. Then you continue stitching. When you stop sewing, the presser foot lifts up again, the needle is down, you continue stitching. So you do this until you get all the way to the end. So now you're down here. So now you turn your fabric, leave that needle down, and come back. So you're restitching over any line you have that's in the center. Stitch back up, stitch this way, and you keep going all the way back up. Then when you're done stitching, you tear the paper off. Now you can't reuse it. So that's why if you're going to do, let's say, borders on a quilt, you're probably going to cut one long strip for each side of the quilt. And so that paper just gets thrown away. but it is so much fun to do this, and it makes it so unique. I'm a big fan of working with panel fabric, and here's a small piece of one of my panel fabrics. And these squares were printed all over it. And what I did with these, I cut the squares out individually, and you have to make sure they're all the same size. So when you're trying to cut them all the same size, use a square ruler. And you lay it down on there. Center your ruler over the piece that you want to cut out. And it's very important, if you're going to use them all in a particular project, that they're cut the same size. But if you're going to make one individual project or you're only making one, then it really doesn't matter. So let me show you a couple of things that you can make out of this particular panel fabric, or any panel fabric that has squares all over it. So these are drink coasters. And so on the back is a piece of fabric that's been cut, but it's been cut larger than this piece of fabric. So these two here were off of the panel fabric. Then I cut another piece, and you can cut it anywhere from 1.5 to 2 inches larger. Then you fold the edges in once and press, then fold them over the edge and press. And you do 2 opposite sides first. Then you stitch them down. Then you do the other 2 opposite sides, fold it over, and stitch it down. So it's a quick way of making drink coasters. Now, in my drink coasters, I've used all kinds of different things on the inside. I've used cotton batting, I've used heavy on interfacing, and I've even used on iron on fleece. Now, here's 2 pot holders made from that same panel fabric. So out of that one piece that I got, I might have gotten a yard or half a yard of it, I don't remember. But these 2 squares here actually came off that panel fabric. So to make this particular pot holder with that 5-inch square, I cut a strip of fabric, stitched it on the square, then pressed it over, then measured from one end to the other, cut another strip of fabric, and stitched it on. Then finish the pot holder off any way that you want to. Let me show you one more that you can make out of this one piece of panel fabric. This is a mug rug. So here's one of the squares, the 5-inch squares. I stitched an additional piece of fabric at the bottom, and then I added on 3 more strips of fabric. You can make them any width you want, or add only 2 strips, whatever you want to do. And then this is about an 8 by 10 inch finished project. Mug rugs are anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, or they're from, I like to make mine 8 by 10. And I did that fold over method again. I cut a piece of fabric for the back that was larger than this piece right here. So you cut it wider, fold the edges over as I explained on the little drink coasters. Now here's some kind of Western style, cowboy style panel fabric that I bought that had these same little squares. These look about 4-inch square. You could do the same thing with even this size. Now panel fabric has a variety of themes in it. One of my favorite places to go to look at panel fabric is Etsy.com. So let me show you this one. This I bought quite a few years ago, and I made drink coasters in these. So what I did was I cut the circle out, then cut another piece of fabric out for the back, cut out either some heavy interfacing or cotton batting, whatever you want on the inside, cut it all the same size, layered it, stitched it around the edges, and then left a little opening so I could turn it front side out. It pushed the opening edges inside underneath a little bit, and then stitched it down all the way around. And they make great drink coasters. So you can finish these squares off any way that you like. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. Try some of these little tips out that I've given you. Always practice on scrap fabric, especially if you're new to sewing. If you don't have scrap fabric, visit a cloth store, go to the clearance section, and buy a small piece of fabric, half a yard, and use that to try some of these projects out on. Don't buy expensive fabric when you're just getting started. Now I'm going to have some suggested projects down below your YouTube screen in the description section. So as you scroll down, look for the word more. Click on it and that section will expand open and you will see all kinds of links appearing that could help you on finishing some of these projects. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.